Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So this is part 5 of my visit to the glass fair at Himley Hall, and this time we're diving headfirst into the old school glass. I think there's something before we get into it, but yeah, it's nearly all old school glass, this one. And yeah, some of it is a bit of a murky world, because when you're looking at some of the older glass, some of it is very straightforward, and some of it is everybody's copying everybody else, and you don't know exactly who made any of it. Yes, or some of it is there's a rumor that something's something, and everybody perpetuates that, and on it goes. It is what it is. That is how old school glass is, and the main thing is to get in, handle as much as you can, and be able to tell the difference between something that's a copy, something that's old, etc., etc. That's the should be your first objective. Anyway, with that said, let's get on and have a look at some glass. There's mountains of Bax's textured glass here. There's also this piece here, 1680 to, I think it says to 1930. I've seen that in the books. Let's try and pull it out. Can you see it's got the Whitefriars monk on it, and it's got the years on it there. Actually, while I'm doing that, let's zoom. Got the feature on there. Will it focus? There we go. There. Can you see? Yeah, that's really nice. So, I want to let you know first that there's a big difference between knowing you've seen something somewhere and knowing where you saw it. So I've definitely seen that vase or glass on a page somewhere, sometime. I don't think I've seen the glass before. Don't remember it. But I can't find out where I saw it. So, with that said, I've gone to the next best thing. This is whitefriarsglassworks.com website, and this is the Whitefriars catalogue for 1931, which would be the year after that glass was made, because it's commemorating 1680 to 1930, so 250 years. Anyway, so we've got this glass here in the middle. This is basically the base. So if you take this spiral off, this is the shape that we were looking at, and here it is in the so it's based on the patent number 1218, which probably would precede 1930 by 2 or 3 years, I suspect. And then they would have just taken that coil off the bottom, etched that the monk and the years on it, and give it a new patent number. And what's the words? Bob's your uncle, whatever. Anyway, so this is it. This is the shape that we were looking at. So yeah, it's interesting to know the shape, because it is not very common even in itself. I don't remember seeing. I've seen these two other ones, but I don't remember seeing this one before. I'm sure all the other Whitefriars dealers have seen loads of them, but I haven't. Got something else really nice. Web circuit. I think he's got that date wrong. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Never seen that before. Really lovely. I looked, but I never found that glass or anything else from that range of glass with the sort of like purple going through to yellow. Yeah. So anyway, just behind them to the right were a couple of goblets, and yeah, this is the thing about being at a glass fair. Those are Whitefriars glasses. We're looking at the whitefriarsglassworks.com website, and this is the 1931 catalogue, and this is one of the glasses. But the thing that I wanted to say was there is so much good stuff when you go to a glass fair, stuff that you only see at the glass fair because you know that you might see it more than once at a glass fair is almost like it's common. The fact that you don't ever see it anywhere else is neither here nor there. Yeah, that's the thing about going to these glass fairs. There's so much good stuff. You know, if I was to try and, there's just no chance of trying to pick everything out. You just have to go, oh, I like the look of that, or I literally have never seen that before, and whatever. So yeah, you have to pick your pieces really and decide. So even though I've never seen those glasses anywhere but in a book, on this catalogue, or at a glass fair, yeah, they're relatively common in that there's probably, I've seen them at other glass fairs. It is what it is. So I'm here at the Maris Antique Style, and he has some lovely old glass, because you know that is my favourite. And look at this shaft and globe, early shaft and globe. You're talking 1750 or something like that. I'm not going to turn it over and look, because yeah, that will kill me. But look at the lovely stopper, original. Look how nicely that does, with the teardrops and everything. We're looking at a page from the book The Decanter, Ancient to Modern by Andy McConnell. And this is the decanter I'm looking at. All of the decanters that he's got in this book are all fancy. This style of decanter appears several times, but this is a plainer one, and also it's one that has the matching stopper. Can you see the stopper here? It's the same shape as we were looking at, with bubbles in it and everything. So yeah, in the book I think he says this is from 1855, no, 1755, get the century right. And yeah, what you can't see on this picture, I don't know if this is indication of it here. When we were looking at the decanter in the film, you could see all of these like tiny little ribs running around the neck of the decanter, and you see that with old glass where they're pulling it and stretching it and doing things with it. And it must be something to do with the quality of the glass from them. You don't really see that much in later glass, but you do see in earlier glasses where there's bits where they've blown it, and when they pull it you can see all these little striations appear in the glass. And yeah, the one that he had, you could clearly see them in that film. So yeah, that's the period it's from, and it's a classic of its period. Shaft and globe. At this time the globes were very globe-like. Yeah, so that's and this style, this shaft and globe style, died out completely and came back at the beginning of the Victorian period. So yeah, it's a funny thing that yeah, there's other decanters that look like this, but they always have, nearly always, because they had a period of not having pouring lips, they frequently had a pouring lip, I should say. So picking out the really old ones, you just have to look. I'm afraid there's nothing I can tell you, oh, it's got this, it's got that, especially as so many of them don't have the right stopper anyway. But anyway, yeah, just be aware that shaft and globe decanters, some of them are really old and quite valuable. Lovely example of a pedestal stem glass here. It's got a folded foot, got 1725 to 30 on it. And look at the little bubble here. That is nice. I really like that one. The book we're looking at is 18th Century English Drinking Glasses by L.M. Bickerton, the Bible of 18th Century English glass. And yeah, this is the closest glass that I could find to the one we were looking at. And it's got all the classic features: folded foot, properly folded in like the one we were looking at, the pedestal base here, or stem, also known as a Silesian stem, and then you've got this thick base to the bowl and just funnel shaped bowl, conical they've called it here. Yeah, classic 1750, so 15. So yeah, this is a really old piece. They called these Silesian stems because this style originally came from Germany, and yeah, it came with the Hanoverians, with George I, who kind of came over to the UK. I can't remember what year he came, but right at the beginning of the 18th century, or early, very early in the 18th century. So, and brought this style with him as a sort of like follow the king fashion. So yeah, there you go. Got a Lynn glass here. Can you see the horizontal optics? Folded foot. Yeah. Oh no, it's not. Is it folded? Yes, it is folded. It didn't look like it wasn't, and then it was, depending on the angle. But yeah, that's a really rare thing. Back with the LM Bickerton book, and yeah, so we have there's 4 lid glasses in here. This one is, and this one is as well. But anyway, I'm showing you these two to get a bit closer, and you can see it's got this ripple in it. Can you see? This one has as well, and they're supposed to be made at King's Lynn. I've seen in some books it disputes whether that's true or not, and whatever. I'm happy to say King's Lynn because I have no, I've read books that say it is, so that's what it's going to be. Anyway, yeah, so these are very rare glasses. You'll see, and this is where sort of like if you learn about 18th century glass, yeah, you've got this spiral cotton twist stem, and then you have ones that are copies, ones that have not, so that your first hurdle to overcome is to know whether it's a copy or not. And then your next hurdle is to work out, is this £150 glass? Is it £1,000 glass? Is it a 5,000, or like this one, £2,500 glass? And these little details make the difference. So yeah, you can get one of these for £150 or something like that, just with a very plain bowl. And even so, some of them have colour twists. That makes a big difference to the price as well. And then you have whatever's, some of them have got enamelling on it. That makes a huge difference if they're enamelled. Just there's so many different things that make a difference to the price. So it is a slippery slope to go down, getting to know all these things. I can ID them, but what I don't know is what the real value is beyond a certain point. Yeah, because I'm not a dealer. I don't deal with these kind of things. I'm not buying and selling these things every day. So I don't know. I think that had £2,500 on it. Don't know if that's right or wrong. What I do know is that I do actually own a piece of Lynn glass. Let me show you. Go to decanters, early decanters, and this decanter here, and you can just about see the ripples in the body. If I click it, you can see here, see the ripples just like on those glasses. Yeah, I own this. The only problem is it's got a massive crack in the base at the back. So I know what period it's from. I know it should be sort of like 1765. I know it's a Lynn, but how much damage does that big crack do? That is the big question. It is over 250 years old though, and it is a very rare thing, and it's the only one I've ever seen on eBay, so ever, and I look at everything, so there you go. Sweet little baluster here. Yeah, 1725. Look at the nice bubble. This is like the perfect example again. Really nice, really nice. Looking at LM Bickerton again, and this is the closest glass to what we were looking at, this one here. He's called this an ovoid knob. I would have called that inverted baluster. The label on the one that we were looking at said inverted baluster, and it's got this ball knob. I didn't realise you'd call it a basil knob. Yeah, basil ball knob. Yeah. So yeah, I've never heard it called ovoid knob. I'd have thought it would be more of a egg shape, or just an oval to be ovoid, but that shape is an inverted baluster to me. If it's the other way up, where you've got a ball at the bottom that tapers at the top, then that's a bluster. Anyway, this is what it is. Still has the same folded foot, conical bowl, but this one has a little curl in the bottom and big thick base on the bowl. Exactly right for that time and period, and exactly like the one we were looking at. Look at these are really sweet. These are Stevens and Williams. But look at the thickness here. And then it's cameo, so that's a layer of glass, and they've cut in it, but it's so thin to start with. That is what quality glass is, or glass cutting anyway. The book we're looking at here is Decanters and Glasses by Therle Hughes. And we're looking at the front cover because it's got these three glasses. Inside the back dust cover, it tells you they're Royal Brierley circa 1900. Royal Brierley is the trade name or brand name for Stevens and Williams, just like James Powell and Sons is Whitefriars. Stevens and Williams had Royal Brierley. So if you hear Stevens and Williams or Royal Brierley, it's the same thing, okay, same manufacturer. Anyway, these three glasses are by them. They're also intaglio, flashed intaglio cut glasses. They're probably a bit better than the ones we were looking at there, but there's one thing about them that I noticed that's similar, very similar. So let's see if I go zoom in a bit, see if you notice what's similar. Do you see what's similar about them yet? No? Okay, I'll go in a bit closer. Yeah, the way the feet are cut is very similar. This star cut, it's just the, I mean, these are actually morning stars, this one and this one's not, but it's just how it's done, the thickness of it, is just like the glasses we were just looking at. And there's a million ways to do it. As much as you see a star cut base is a star cut base is a star cut base, it isn't. So yeah, there's a million different ways. This is a very high quality way with basically lots of little cuts to make, you know, you could probably do it with about 10 cuts if you wanted, even 5 or 6 if you're really desperate. Some of the Stuart glass has like, I think 8 cuts. This has got like about 50 or 60, I don't know. I didn't count. That's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so this is about 50, I think. Looking at that, I think this one might be a bit, but anyway, a lot. And if you see what the other end of the extreme is, yeah, it just has the same feel. Now, that doesn't definitely mean it. Obviously, lots of people might do it like this, but when you see 3 glasses done like this, you go, that seems to be their style for their intaglio cut glasses. I know that not all of their glasses have a star cut like this anyway, but anyway, it just, if you see things that reference you together, pull them together, doesn't necessarily say it's definitely this, but it makes you feel like you're going in the right direction. I don't have a direct reference. I've looked at a few bits and pieces that I've got. I don't have anything that matches those 2 glasses that we were looking at. But when you see something like this, you start looking at different intaglio cut glasses. I did some Google searching as well. In fact, I did actually find those glasses. They're still for sale online. But yeah, I'm just trying to find something to cross-reference with and didn't find it. But there's things, other glasses that I've seen and in other books that go, there's nothing there that's ruling them out. And they're very high quality as well, regardless of whether they're Stevens and Williams or not. Look at this jug here. This is really nice. What date have they got on it? No, they haven't got a date on it. No. But this little step here, well, the shape of the handle says it's early. The little step here says it's a little bit earlier than that. So you're probably talking like 1840s, probably, something like that. It's a really nice jug. You know I like old jugs. So I have been searching and searching across various retailers and Googling images and stuff like that, looking for a jug like that one without any luck. And, you know, I could show you something on my website. I could go down my shed and pull out some other jugs and go, look, it's like this. But that's not fair. This is the closest jug I found online, and it doesn't look, you know, at first glance the same. Let me show you here. The scalloping at the top is a bit different. This is a bit smaller, but I think this is not a very big jug, and that's a bit bigger. But this scoop here with this cutting, yeah, it also has this style of handle as well. But yeah, this scooping here, and also the fact that the body is very heavily panel cut. Now they've said English jug circa 1820. I don't think it's quite as early as that, because, you know, when you look at the decanters, when you see all this heavy panel cutting like this, you're really talking 1830s. But there's no book of glass jugs. Like Andy McConnell's done two heavy books on just the decanter, and there is no juggy equivalent. So you just have to try and look at comparable styles and cutting and everything. I think this is a bit later, and I think the jug that we were looking at there is probably from the late 1830s, maybe 40s. But yeah, it's very difficult because, one, not that many of them survived. This way of doing the handle is quite fragile. So soon as you get past the 1870s and they changed the way the handles were made and made them this less robust method, the number of jugs to be found drops dramatically. Yeah, it's just one of those things. They were making them weaker earlier, and just they got broken, and that's it. So there's not so many around. I'm always looking for this style of jug because I know it's rare, and I'm just that nerdy kind of person that goes, oh, look, it's one of those. But anyway, yeah, it's a rare type of jug. It's the kind of jug I look for when I'm out hunting, and yeah, I quite like that one, and I would have it in my collection, but I'm usually looking for bargains, so not today. This is a page from the book Whitefriars Glass, James Powell and Sons of London by the Museum of London, and this is a page from Whitefriars 1830s catalogue. Now, after me saying what I just said, and I'm not going to redo that bit of film. I didn't find any references relating to a jug. I was looking for something else, and I found this. So this is from the 1830s. I guess that jug was from the 1830s. And if you were to make this decanter into a jug from the 1830s, it would look like that jug. So this bit here, right to here, where it would splay out, become the jug, and you'd put a handle on it, this is exactly as that jug. There's the same cutting with this kind of panels with these lips on at the top, and then the sort of, I don't know what you call that, peaks going over the top, cut the panels cut over the top in a zigzag. Yeah, it's exactly the same. So the bottom half of this is the same as the bottom half of that jug. That jug could be Whitefriars. No, I can't say it is, because everybody copied everybody else, and you'd have to go through, try and find lots of factory drawings from the 1830s to see how different or unique that is. But there's a decent chance that that jug is a Whitefriars jug from the 1830s. Here's another nice early jug. It's not as early as the other one, I don't think. So this frosting came in the early 1850s. And look at these cut lines. It's so stylish. It's a bit like one of the jugs I have, but smaller. And it's got a lovely, it's just, the foot is really nice. She's got, yeah, 1860. So yeah, I'm fully in agreement with that. And look, there's got a little bit of a step here. That's unusual for that period, but that is a very nice little elegant jug. So after the last jug I looked at, and actually I've done lots of searching for jugs, and so I know I don't think I can find another jug like this. So this jug is not the same shape as the one there. The one that we're looking at was a baluster shaped jug, and yeah, it was only about this tall. It was more like a tall elegant cream jug as opposed to this. It's more of a watery. See, I can get my hand on it here. But there's a number of features that are very similar. One is completely, the body is completely frosted, okay, but the handle is not. The handle has the same little slice of it like this. Can you see there? Yeah. The cut lines of mine are like tram lines. They're actually triple cut because there's like a central groove with a little side groove on each side. So yeah, that's a little bit fancier. But the other thing that's very the same, which makes me think this is out of the same stable, is the foot. This is not wear, this is frosting. So you've got a frosted base with a star cut into it. Yes, so I think, and I'm also agreeing with her date. So this frosting came in after, I think, in the early 1850s. So I think this is probably late 1850s, 1860s. This style of handle went out of fashion in the 1870s, but also this frosting did. You still saw it on pressed glass and things like that, but when you're getting down to the cheaper end of the spectrum, things stay in fashion for longer. The fashionable people go, yeah, we've moved on from there, and you know, they're the people with the money, and they go, yeah, if it's not today's fashion, we don't want it. But anyway, that's yeah, it's the closest jug I've got to what we're looking at, and I don't have a reference. This is nice as well. This is an acid etched goblet, probably by Richardson, 1870. I would agree with that because it's acid etch is probably starting to go out at that time, but it's got this nice aesthetic foot, which kind of sets that time period. So yeah, that is really nice. So yeah, I'm back doing masses of searching. I've been through my books. I know I've seen glasses like that before. I'm not even sure I've seen that style of glass, regardless of the engraving on it. I think I might have seen it in a Scandinavian book. I'm not certain. A catalogue. Yeah. And yeah, when you're searching for Richardsons, everything is Richardsons. It says everything. And some of these patterns I know are in the Whitefriars book. This pattern's in the Whitefriars book. This pattern's in the Whitefriars book. There's another one on here is clearly saying Richardson somewhere. And it's in the Whitefriars book as well. So, yeah. And when I say in the book, I mean it's actually in the factory drawings from Whitefriars. So, yeah. It's a very... Richardson's and to me and Stevenson Williams are very murky. I mean, there's a Stevenson Williams book, but it's very flimsy. It's about the history of the factory. Yeah, I know that they do some real quality stuff, but there's so much of it where there's no good reference for it. So, oh, hang on, what's this? I didn't spot these. Look at these. Hey, let's see. Does it? Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent now because I missed these when I was looking. Do they have a reference? Do they have a reference? No. And the problem with this is one of the ones I was looking at, and some of the patterns that were in there, okay, they've got 1880 down, but I know they're in the 1855 Whitefriars factory drawing. So yes, but look at this. It's got the same bowl, but then this is very different. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know is the answer. So there you have it. What do I want to say? I don't know. There will be more parts. There will be more old glass, I'm afraid. It is what it is. I do like it, and I'm going to carry on looking at it and telling you about it. Yes. I'm going to make you all, convert you all into, all you vintage collectors into old school collectors. No, I mean, either you like it or you don't. But anyway, with that said, all the references I used will be in the description below. Yes, and please remember to like and subscribe because it does help my channel. And I think that's it. So thank you for watching. Have a good night. Good night.